Hi, I'm Eloise Gibson, the 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leaders Lifetime Achievement Honoree. Did you know that the first licensed Black pilot in history was a woman? Her name is Bessie Coleman, and she learned to fly in 1921, 2 years before Amelia Earhart. Know your history.
Hi, I'm Colonel George Armstrong III, the 2015 Dreamers, Visionary, and Leaders Lifetime Achievement Honoree. Did you know that in 1994, John D. Hopper Jr. became the first Black graduate of the U.S. Air Force Academy to be promoted to General Officer rank? He returned to his alma mater to become the first Black Commandant of Cadets in U.S. Air Force Academy history. Know your history.
Hi, I'm Bianca Johnson, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that the first Black editor of the Harvard Law Review was Charles Hamilton Houston in 1919? And the first Black president of the Harvard Law Review was also the first Black president of the United States, Barack Obama. Know your history.
Hi, I'm Lieutenant Colonel James Michael F.W. Yates, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leader honoree. Did you know that on June 15, 1877, Henry O. Flipper became the first Black to graduate from West Point? During the graduation ceremony, he was the only cadet to receive a standing ovation. Know your history.
In 1957, a life's mission of helping others help themselves began here in the high desert. Despite the perceived barriers and discouragement, a legacy prevailed. A legacy rooted in education and achievement, several of which were first for a person of color in this county.
Thank you so much for making time for us to be here today, to be here in the John Lovell Auditorium and Multipurpose Building. This is really exciting. And for Black History Month, it is especially exciting because quite often we feel like those who are leaving legacies and who are our icons don't necessarily live here in the high desert. But that's not the truth when it comes to John Lovell. How long have you known Mr. Lovell?
You know, I've been in the district for 20 years, and he's always been a major part in the district. Since I started my first day of teaching, we knew who John Lovell was. So,
wow.
Yeah, he's been a big part in this district. A huge contributor to our culture here in Victor Elementary School District. And I say huge loosely. Mm-hmm. He's had a major impact on the culture here in Victor Elementary School District.
For over 58 years, this man has educated, inspired, and motivated students, parents, teachers, administrators, colleagues, family, and friends. In 2002, on the campus of the Discovery School of the Arts, located in Victorville, California, the John L. Lovell Auditorium Multipurpose Room was dedicated. We sat down with Mr. Lovell to hear his thoughts and feelings of that day back in 2002.
This dedication was extremely humbling to me. And as I recall, 14 years ago, Ralph Baker and I stood here, and when it was actually told that this is now officially the John Lovell Auditorium, I just thought back at a time in which some of my ancestors couldn't go in stores or buildings, and when they did, they had to go and drink water from a specific place. And then I thought about, and here this evening, I'm being dedicated a building. And so I accept that in honor of myself, my family, and most definitely my ancestors, because on that evening, I felt they were all here, standing behind me and cheering me on. All right.
Today, in 2015, Mr. Lovell remains actively engaged in the education of our children and young people. He mentors and advises educators, volunteers with several organizations, including his church. John L. Lovell indeed is a dreamer, visionary, and leader.
Hi, I'm Gloria Roberts, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that the first African-American film company was Lincoln Motion Picture Company, established in 1960? Know your history.
Hi, I'm Dr. Melda Gaskins, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that in 1864, Rebecca Lee Crumpler was the first African-American woman to get a medical degree? Crumpler became a physician at a time when most doctors were white men. She graduated from the New England Medical College in Boston, Massachusetts. She also wrote a book on health care for women and children. Know your history.
Hi, I'm Mariam, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionaries, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that the first Black U.S. Supreme Court Justice was Thurgood Marshall, who served from 1967 to 1991? Clarence Thomas became the second African-American to serve on the court in 1991. Know your history.
On August 21st, 2014, this school was named and dedicated in honor of Gus Franklin Jr. Mr. Franklin, for 18 years, served as Adelanto School District's Director of Maintenance, Operations, and Transportation. His exceptional work ethic, commitment to excellence, and compassion for others serves as a role model for current and future generations.
Gus was my boss for many years before I started teaching. So he was Director of Maintenance and Transportation. And it's funny, I feel like now that I'm working under him again, coming here. So wow. Yes, I had never been to college. I had my kids before, and when my daughter went into kindergarten, I went to him, I told him I'm gonna start school and try to become a teacher, and he was 100% behind me.
What would you say to him?
I'd probably say it's because of men like you that this is possible. Because he was strong. So he was all about the kids learning, and I would say it's men like him that help things like this happen.
Gus Franklin Jr. STEM Academy, just like the man, has no boundaries for learning. With a high focus on the fundamentals and science, technology, engineering, and math, students are encouraged to not just think outside the box, but remove the box from learning.
With the board and the superintendent and the previous administration, they decided to go to Florida and visit a school in Florida that had this design, cafe style of learning. And this room is called EDGE, Explore, Dream, Grow, Excel. They decided that they wanted to see what would happen with students if they could learn in an environment that didn't look like Rose. It didn't look like how we used to go to work, assembly lines where they used to sew all at the same times, and that's the way classrooms are set up. These classrooms are set up so that students can learn at their rate, their level, and we help them where they are. And the goal is for them to accelerate, not to remediate, to accelerate. This room was designed with an astronomy theme for sixth grade only. The pictures are actual pictures from the Hubble Space Telescope. We have the Crab Nebula, the Cat's Eye. We have real pictures of Earth, some other galaxies, the moon. It's my dream classroom.
How many special needs students do you have?
We have probably 40 special needs students that are in the general education. We have a full-out program, but we have 9 severely handicapped. We have 14 that are in a special day class. Like you probably saw me with Melisha earlier. I was holding her. And we try to integrate them as much as we can into general education.
I sat down with Mrs. Franklin, who graciously shared her insight about the man who was also her husband.
Mrs. Franklin, I want to thank you, first of all, for joining us here today and having us on the campus of the Gus Franklin Jr. STEM Academy. How wonderful of a facility this is, and what a great addition to our community. I can only imagine how special this is, and I'm wondering if you will kind of share with us who your husband was.
Oh, my goodness, an incredible man who loved mankind, was a true servant to mankind. He had instant camaraderie with whomever he met, and people just loved him. And he was always willing to listen to anyone. And when they left him, they felt rejuvenated and refreshed because he had the willingness to hear what they had to say. And it made for a strong connection between the two of them. And people just loved him for that. Yeah.
We are proud to honor Mr. Gus Franklin Jr.
Hi, I'm Joseph Moon, a 2015 Dreamers, Visionary, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that the first Black to receive a patent was Thomas L. Jennings in 1821 for a dry cleaning process? He used the money he earned from the patent to purchase relatives out of slavery and to support abolitionist causes. Know your history.
I'm Lynette Ramirez, the 2015 Dreamers, Visionary, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that in 1950, Gwendolyn Brooks was the first African American to win the Pulitzer Prize for poetry? Know your history.
Hi, I'm Cornelious Page Jr., a 2015 Dreamers, Visionary, and Leaders honoree. Did you know that the first medical school for Blacks was Howard University Medical School, established in 1868 in Washington, D.C.? Know your history.